Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody inside and outside the ballpark. My name is NovedPlayer, and welcome to episode 38 of the Noved Notes podcast, where we talk about many different types of creators inside of the platform. With me today, I actually have a content creator who's actually been in the VRChat game for quite a long time, NovaRedux. Nova, welcome to the podcast. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, I'm doing pretty good, thanks.
Awesome. Yeah. So I guess first and foremost, what exactly, do you do inside of the VRChat platform?
So I'm kind of like I'm a content creator. I do world showcases and let's play style content, some skits here and there. Mostly let's play style content, though I'm kind of mixing it up. I also do streams from time to time over on Twitch, some VR chat, some non-VR chat, but yeah, I'm just trying to showcase cool stuff that people might have missed.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's kind of cool that you showcase off these worlds and other things that, other people create. So before we get deep into that, one of the very first questions I want to ask, what got you into VR chat in the first place?
Oh boy. So back in the day, VR chat was Uganda Knuckles and memes and shit posting and all that. And I didn't care for that. I was like, oh, that's VR chat, whatever. One of my favorite artists is Porter Robinson. I know not a lot of people kind of share that on VR chat for some reason. But one day he did a stream going over his album Nurture, and he was showing off VR chat worlds that kind of fit the vibe of his songs and commentating over his songs and like how he felt about them and the creation process of it. I was just watching the stream like, damn, that's VR chat. I'm like, I was thinking of all the memes and people trying to be funny on VRChat. And I'm like, that's cool. I want more of that. And I literally bought a headset like 2 weeks later. Like I saved up money from 2 paychecks and was like, I'm getting that headset.
Fair enough. And which headset did you go with for the first headset?
So my first one was the Quest 2, and then now I have a Quest 3. I just
Gotcha.
recently upgraded.
Nice. Same actually. Not real recent, but recent enough to where it was within like a few months. So I guess it's going to be a weird tangent already, but I'm actually interested, because you've been doing this for a
No
while.
worries.
So what, in your opinion, what is the benefits going from a Quest 2 to a Quest 3?
Oh
Or
God.
what's some of the better
Well, the
things in your
weight
opinion?
definitely. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more lightweight. It took some getting used to at first, but like the field of view is like slightly bigger, I think, or the resolution. Something about the visual quality is different that made my eyes have to adjust for a bit. But now it's like night and day. And honestly, the colors, the crispness of everything is on a different level for me. Like I thought everything was beautiful and colorful in VR chat, but now like the blacks are more black, the orange is more vibrant, like it's like a different world. And I'm just like, God damn.
Fair enough. Well, we're not sponsored by Meta by any means. I just want to throw that out there. But
Right.
as somebody who's also like going from Quest 2 to Quest 3, I was just kind of curious, like your opinion on it, realistically.
Oh, the controllers also are way better.
Oh yeah, you don't have like the little rings on the top anymore. It's now like flat
Right.
based,
And they
which
just
is
feel better.
oh yeah. Granted, I have Quest Pro controllers because I was like, yeah, I like having putting my hands behind my back and behind my head and not losing tracking. Um, Granted, I've had these since probably the Quest 2 actually, and I just kept them. I still have the Quest 3 controllers with it, but
I'll
yeah,
be honest, I didn't know you could mix and match controllers.
yeah, you gotta like mix them through the app. It's weird, but they work and they work
I
really
learned
well.
something new. Cool.
Yeah, if you don't know, now you know. Um, but but yeah, so I was gonna say, kind of to go into your side of content creation. So, you kind of talked about Porter Robinson and how like that inspired you to get into VR chat. But what inspired you to, start making videos and start making content with VR chat?
Well, we'll go all the way back to start with. I've been making content since 2005 on YouTube. Very long time YouTube creator in general. Did like skits with my friend as teenagers, did let's play content, did reviews, all sorts of stuff. And like it was all fun and stuff, but something about like hopping into VR chat and like I started with like, oh, let's show off some cool worlds. Like this is my new obsession I'm into. And when I realized just the sheer quantity and quality of the things that I was finding and how much could be done in VR, I was like, this is fun. Like it has like the energy of doing like IRL skits and content like that, but like with my own character. Kind of like it's basically VTubing in a sense, but like with my body, like with everything.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would say because that's kind of it's funny that you mentioned VTubers because a lot of VTubers do kind of have some type of origin or relation to VR chat. Most of them, not all of them, not all of them, but most of them. And because with VTubers, right, they they're mainly 2D. There's some 3D ones out there, but and they kind of develop that and take that and put it inside of VR. It's definitely an interesting concept in that sense. So I guess kind of into that category of VTubing and streaming and stuff. So realistically, what because you said you made content for so long, since 2005, you said, what kind of got you into like streaming specifically? Because there's a difference between content creation and streaming. So what kind of made you want to drive, from content creation into streaming?
Well, Twitch I started back in like 2015, somewhere around there. And it just started with like I had a small group of friends online. We were playing some Heroes of the Storm. I wanted to share my perspective, nothing major. And I was like, I might as well give it a shot. And like it's just like the community of like people showing up and just hanging out. It's kind of like that like sitting on a couch with your friends while you play games together kind of thing. Like that's the energy that streaming gives me, and just like that sense of community of like someone walking in and being like, "Yo, what's up? I see you're playing this game. That's sick. I love this game. Like, I want to share this experience with you." I love that. And being able to
No.
react in real time too.
Oh, absolutely. Um, and I was okay, one of the things I wanted to ask you because you do streaming and you kind of mentioned it already, having that feedback live. Have you ever thought about when you release a video, right? Have you ever thought about doing them as premieres so that way people can react in real time, and kind of go that route, or do you think it's more beneficial to just release a video and just hope they put it in the comment section?
Well, I my approach is a little bit weird because, like, on one hand, I like to upload my videos and make them members only first, and then schedule them to go live. I don't. Can you do a premiere if it's already been? I don't know if you can. I don't think you
I
can.
don't know if you can. That's a good question.
Yeah, but even if you could, I also sometimes like to the thing with premieres is if it's scheduled to go at a certain time, if someone joins that like after that point, they're watching the video from that point forward. Like it's
Yeah.
a stream, quote unquote, at that point until it's finished. Um so the way I like to do it, if anything, is I'll do like if I'm really proud of a video that I made, I'll be like, all right, we're gonna watch it all together in VRChat, and we'll hop in VR, sit in like a movie theater, and watch the new video. Then I can like see the reactions live rather than like text on the screen.
Fair enough. That's actually a good way to go about it. Actual live reactions versus text reactions. That's cool. Um, kind of to let's take it back a little bit. So you said you were making content creation since 2005. Um, so let's kind of go into that a little bit. Those little humble beginnings of the Nova of Redux, if you will. So I guess one of the first questions, because you said you were doing like skits with friends and stuff, what kind of made you want to do these skits? Like what inspired? Was there any inspiration behind the skits, or you know stuff like that? That was a really weird way of
Okay,
phrasing
so
it.
when I was growing up, no, I get you. So when I was growing up, like a big part of our childhood was because I'm for those watching, I'm 33. I'm a bit of a like older end of VR chat. I know there's older, but like anyway, growing up, YouTube. I mean, even for kids these days, YouTube is a big part of our childhood. Like we grow up watching people making it big, getting on the screen, like watching their funny videos. So like Smosh and their early days, stuff like that. All sorts of different YouTubers we used to watch, me and my friend, and we were like, I want to be like them. Like I want to make funny content that people like go out of their way and like it's part of their day, like to make their day a little bit better. Like I have funny thoughts in my head that I want to get out. And I guess a lot of it too is just like I was always like the weird one in my school because of like TISM and ADHD and stuff, and like all my special interests and stuff. I was always the one trying to crack jokes that nobody laughed at but me. So having a platform online where other people are also laughing at those jokes, I'm like, wait, someone gets it. Like, yes, it's not just me. I'm not weird. Well, I am, but like, it's nice. It's kind of like having your voice heard for the first time and also providing a space for people at the same time.
Yeah, I get that. That's what's up. It's very interesting that you kind of, take these bigger creators and you wanted to be like them. Not saying that's a bad thing by any means, because there's a lot of creators out there who want to, you know, do what other creators do. Like you mentioned Smosh, but like let's look at like Game Grumps or Rhett and Link and all these other YouTubers that have been around since the dawn of time. Essentially, the list goes on and on. I'm not going to make a whole list, but you get the point. So I guess kind of one of the things I wanted to ask you, what kind of led you to create the name NovaRedux?
So I've gone through many names over the years. I won't be listing them all, obviously, but what made me settle on NovaRedux is I was looking for a change. I was looking for something new, and I thought that I like short, kind of spacey themed names, or like kind of like Zero, Xeno, like that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, Nova. Nova's kind of a cool name. And then I went by Nova Tempest for a while because Rimuru Tempest from that time I was reincarnated as a slime. Love that show, by the way. Um, and like the main character is just like I love him so much. So, but eventually I was like, I want it to be me. Like I don't want it to be an anime character and me. I just want it to be me. So I just thought of other cool words that kind of worked out, and I settled on Redux because it's kind of like I'm starting over. It's a renewal or refresh, like not only for the name, like time for something new. We're new beginnings.
I gotcha. I To be fair, I always thought that it was kind of like a play on like the avatar because how short you are, like reduction. I know it sounds stupid.
Oh,
I know that sounds really
nope,
dumb.
no relation.
Fair. But yeah, no, that's cool though. And of course, like
Yeah.
a
So
lot of
if I
people
were
go through
doing
main names.
that, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
I've been reduxed.
You've
I've been reduxed.
Oh boy.
That's what kids are calling it these days.
The Nova Redux.
Yo, you just got reduxed. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But it's really cool because I was always curious. So I guess kind of one of the things I wanted to ask you, now that we're kind of going into the timeline a little bit, you started making, content with VRChat. So I guess one of the things I wanted to ask you, starting out as a VRChat content creator, what was some of the struggles in your own experience that you went through kind of like, making the content, or if anything like that, or at least in your opinion?
So, looking back at my old videos, I can tell you right now, it's figuring out what's good to have on screen. And to explain that, hiding my HUD is one thing, hiding name tags is another thing. Completely makes the experience more immersive. Also, getting used to comfort turning. I was using like the snap turning for so long, and people were commenting how nauseous it made them. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get used to comfort, like the normal like turning. And I not even joking. I went into a world with my friends, and I just did this for like half an hour until I got used to it, and it didn't make me nauseous anymore. And then now it's just normal for me. But yeah, just like things like that mainly. But I guess also one thing I'm still struggling with and figuring out is like kind of what direction to take my content in. Because like one of my biggest inspirations is probably Markiplier and how he handles his let's plays and his community and stuff. But I don't want to be Markiplier. Obviously, I want to be Nova. I want to find who is Nova in the VRChat sphere. So I'm like, I can only do let's play style content for so long, or can I? I don't know. That's the thing. I have no idea. That's probably my biggest struggle as a VR chat creator.
That's that's a fair point. I mean, at least with VR chat, right? Granted, it was a lot different back then compared to now. So at least with, and this is something that I always believe in when it comes with VR chat. VR chat is the place of infinite possibilities in the sense of you can literally create anything within reason. I'm going to say it every time I say anything within reason, but you can literally create anything with Unity, and make it into an avatar, make it into a world, make it into an experience that other people can enjoy. And with content creators, they're a big stone of VR, like cornerstone of VR chat, because realistically that's how the word of mouth of VR chat gets around. It's the people that make the videos, the shorts, all that sort of stuff. And realistically, with how many, streamers and YouTubers and shorts creators all work together, like, the amount of content is quite literally endless. Or at least that's my opinion. Um, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. Like VR chat has what, like 100,000 to a million worlds, literally like that many worlds. Like it's crazy. Like I have been playing VR chat since 2021, and like you think playing a game that long or a platform that long, you've seen pretty much everything. And I like to say I've seen most of the good stuff, quote unquote, but I haven't. Like there's so many things like, oh, Nova, have you seen this world yet? I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, It's the coolest thing ever," and I had no idea it was even there.
For sure. No, I would say I think a prime example, when it comes to that, like worlds that like blow VR chat out of the water. And it's actually a very not very recently released because it was in beta for a while. But let's take Neo Worlds for example. You can literally play a 2D version of VR chat essentially inside of a 3D space. That's unheard of for this platform. And there's so many other worlds out there, like the list goes on and on and on, but that's, I think, one of the biggest examples when it comes to the most innovative VR chat worlds, because nobody expects that, right? Like, it's definitely an interesting thing. So kind of to go into that topic, in your opinion, because you've seen hundreds and hundreds of worlds, thousands of worlds, what is a world that, no matter what the case may be, will always resonate with you?
Boy, where do I start? Let me just crack my knuckles real quick.
Or if you want to do
So,
like a
I
top
mean,
five or
you said
10.
Neo's World for sure. No, I know. Yeah, it's like just time lapse here, and it's like me just like fading in and out, like naming, and you're just over here like falling asleep. Like, ah, no. I mean, I know it's basic as hell to say, but Organism and Epilogue are I will always find interesting. I don't care how over recommended they are; they're cool as hell. And every time I go there, it's a new experience, especially like with different people, or I notice something like, oh, there's a bench over here. I had no idea. Even something small like that kind of makes me go, shit, cool. Astral Bounds, another really popular one I like to go back to. But one that really resonates with me, weirdly enough, is Japan After School. And it's very strange. So it's like a little, you got like the elementary school and then like a path with like little shops on the side, and it leads down to a house by like a rice paddy. And I'm obviously from America, I'm white as hell, but it gives me a sense of nostalgia that's not my own. Like I go to that world and I just go like, man, there are some like Japanese people playing this game who go to this world and are like, oh yeah, coming back from school after a long day, dropping by for some candy, some ice cream, listening to the cicadas, and then kicking out on the porch or whatever as I let the wind blow through. Like I feel their nostalgia through that world, and it's just something about that world that does it for me. It's so strange.
Fair enough. No, I actually have never been to that world. Actually, I'm gonna ask you for the link later, after we're done with the
Sure,
episode, or we'll go check it out, one or the other. But
sure.
yeah, no, I was say, because, oh man, there's so many different worlds out there. Whether it's just a pure aesthetic, or it's games or whatever the case may be. It's from musical experiences to, the chill worlds and everything else. Um, so I guess kind of to go into this topic a little bit more, because you've done some coverage around, a lot of worlds when it comes to VR. So in your personal opinion, what is your favorite type of world?
My favorite type of world. So obviously, like as a gamer, I've always loved games like worlds and stuff with objectives, like find all the collectibles in the world, or get to the end of the story, or like figure out the puzzle. But I also just kind of like worlds that tell a story in a small area, like not with words, but with the world. So like another good example, I want to say here. I'm sorry. Let me just quickly look this up. I want to say it's either like Atto or like Yayoi or like Lariat, one of like the Japanese creators that's known for their pretty worlds. They have like the series of worlds that all have different titles that linked together, and you go to them and they're like similar, but they're different enough that they're different experiences, and they're just like, maybe about as big as this map. And you just walk around and have these different visuals, and it's up to you to figure out what the story for this world is. And I love that. I
Mm.
love like trying to figure out. Oh god, I lagged. I love trying to figure out lore in worlds. Anything with lore, world building. Oh, worlds that are interconnected to each other, really big for me. Like if I jump from one world to another and this explains something about this world, I'm eating that shit up.
Oh, fair enough. I would say, especially with like, yeah, because that kind of goes into the whole like storyline worlds where they kind of intertwine with each other. Um, it's funny that you mentioned that, because oh man, there's one that I know about, but I can't technically reveal anything yet because it's not out yet. But there's some cool stuff. There's some cool stuff coming in that regard. Not to mention like with the new persistence beta that's out, right? Like I'm I'm super excited to see what comes of the persistence beta. Not only for like the game worlds or the long maps that take like 6-7 hours, but for the worlds that essentially, you know, they can make like more expansive because of the persistence data. Like these chill world creators, or not chill world creators, but like the ones that like have like, let's say like a forest, for example, aesthetic, and like you're exploring the forest, and you hit a certain point, and then you leave, and then persistence brings you back to that point, and then you just keep going and going until whatever the next exploration thing may be. I'm It's one of those things I'm just very excited to see what comes out of it. Because obviously you'll have like your game world creators that use it, like for progress and stuff. I know there's Argus VRC, who's the creators of the Sword Art Online experience. Um, with like in VRChat, like I know that's going to be a huge one when it comes to the persistence like beta and stuff. But I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to think about, and with VRChat updating practically on a monthly basis with new updates and more expansive stuff, it's definitely an interesting thing. Hello, everyone. Real quick, just want to pause the episode right here. First and foremost, thank you so much for watching the episodes. It means a lot that you're, making sure to stay this long into the episode. Really quick, just want to make a small announcement. I do want to thank some amazing people who have supported me over on Throne. We're currently over 60% funded for the new setup. It means the world to me that you guys are wanting to support the podcast, support all the creations, and help me expand and improve upon the content that I'm making. I got a bunch of special thank yous. We got Volkashikt, Emma Torch, Down Lyric, Asher Devora, KJD, Monk42, Sonic Man 7708, Teal, King Royeko, Bunks Girl, Rolltide 813, MapleMoose, and of course, all of the anonymous gifters. You guys mean the absolute world to me, and I can't thank you guys enough for supporting my creations and everything about. But if you're interested, there also is the Noved Squad VRC group, NOVED 6608 for that. And we also do now have a Blue Sky account. We're on Blue Sky because honestly, Elon app is Elon app. We won't talk about that. But make sure to go follow the Blue Sky. I will be posting more updates in regards to episodes and everything else, interacting with the community more. But yeah, go check that out. But with that, let's get right back into the episode. Woo! But I guess kind of to go back into your side of things specifically. So you have officially surpassed 100 videos on the NovaRedux channel. So I guess one of the questions, I wanted to ask in that regard, how does it feel to have made over 100 videos of content for the NovaRedux
Honestly,
channel? I
kind of
mean,
weird. Yeah, no, it's kind of weird because it's like I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, I made that video. Oh yeah, I made that video. Like I'll go back and look at videos I made, and then it's like, wait, I made that like a year and a half ago, and stuff like that. And it's like, it's kind of bizarre, I guess. But it also makes me realize, like, even 100 videos in, I still have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I'm doing it better, but I'm still confused.
no, that's completely fair. Kind of, I guess one of my other questions in that regard, because you've gained a lot of traction within the VR chat space, or at least in my opinion. So I guess one of the
Thank you.
questions you're welcome. One of the questions I wanted to ask, was there a particular video that kind of skyrocketed, like, more and more traction with your channel, or was it just kind of a progression over time?
Of it was progression, but it was definitely the how to find cool worlds in VR chat video. That is still to this day my highest viewed video. And then there was a couple like banger hits like and since then that kind of like the growth of my channel. It's like it plateaus, spikes, plateau, spike, plateau, spike, and each plateau just feels longer and longer, even if it's not. But that's just how it goes on YouTube.
I
I'm
gotcha.
just trying to hit that next big hit without like which it's hard for me because I'm not someone who likes doing trends. I'm not going to make a video just because it's trendy. I'm not going to do it just because it's topical. I'm going to do it if it's interesting to me. So that makes it hard to grow too.
No, that's completely valid. I get that. Especially with the podcast, for example. Like, I do this cuz, realistically, we are the people that make VR chat. And if you saw me at HorrorCon, you probably heard me say this 1,000 times, and I'm super sorry because I'm a broken record when it comes to this philosophy. But, you know, the developers, right? They allow us to log into the game. But us as creators, whether it's, the avatar world, assets, content, streamers, we we make the community. We make the platform what it is, and it's kind of crazy to think about because there's not many games out there that are like that. Yeah, you have like Minecraft, you have Roblox, sure. But when it comes to immersive experiences that you can physically interact with and, you know, enjoy it in that sense, there's not a lot of games that can do that. So kind of to go back into the channel a little bit, did you ever think that certain videos were going to do as well as they did, or I guess in that mindset of an analytical mindset, did you ever think like videos were going to do well, or did you just mainly do it just for the experience? Or not, that's a poor way of phrasing that question. Were
I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, I'll say, I guess to rephrase that, did you expect to you know get as popular as you have now, like back when you first started? It's such a weird. There are so many weird ways of phrasing this question. Don't mind my
There's a
brain
lot of
fartness.
you have a lot of micro questions here, and I'll try to answer them because I think I picked up on all of them. So for my channel itself, I guess I just don't see myself as a big in the VR chat sphere yet. Like, I see people like Lalathon and them like they're big in my eyes, and that's like not even to say that's my goal, but like that's my competition is how I look at it. Like without getting into like trolling videos and stuff like that, like I think they're doing great stuff, but it's not my stuff, it's not what I want to be doing. But I still want to get that kind of platform where that many eyes are on me so that I can be like, hey, look at all of you, look at these cool worlds other people are making. look at this cool stuff in VRChat that you might not know about. Like that's what I want. So I guess I didn't never expect it to grow, but I've always wanted to. So in my mind, it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. I just need to keep pushing at it until I get there. And then as far as like individual videos go, like any creative person watching will know this. It's never the ones you expect. Like you can pour your heart and soul into a video for weeks and it's a 10 of 10 on YouTube, which for those who don't know, it's like out of the last 10 videos you made, it's your worst in terms of like viewership. And then you could just like throw something together, you're like, whatever, and it blows up. And there's never like there is a rhyme or reason, but it's never obvious. The how to find cool worlds, I knew that one was going to get big because it's topical. It's a lot of people are wondering about it. It's useful information. It's evergreen content, stuff that people will be coming back to. Whereas like Smile Room Chapter 2, obviously it's topical. People are going to love that. But I make a video called Return to Monkey, a short film where I go to Chimp Zone and find hidden monkeys. Like I poured my heart into that one and it didn't do too well. Like compared to my other videos, it didn't do well. I kind of expected it, but I was kind of hoping it would do better. But like that's what I'm saying is like it doesn't matter how much time and effort you put into something if it's not something people are going to be looking for. So you kind of do have to game the system if you want constant growth. But even so, I just make stuff because it's cool, because it's fun. I don't care if my next video is going to be a flop or a hit. Like if I have something I want to show people, I'm showing them.
Fair enough. And that's obviously, one of the big thing is content creators is we do it because it's fun. It's interesting to us. And if people also find it interesting, awesome. If not, there's hundreds of other different types of content out there. So I guess kind of go into that topic a little bit since we're kind of talking about that type of topic. Bro, my brain is fried. Chat, don't roast me in the comments. This is probably gonna get cut out. This bit right here is probably
roast
gonna
them
get
in
cut
the comments. Roast them in the comments. No, roast them.
Damn. But so I guess to kind of go into that topic a little bit. So since you've been doing this since 2005, when it comes to content creation in general, in your experience, that's the word I was looking for. What is a piece of advice that you can give for people that are wanting to start content creation?
Yeah, so this is gonna like I have it in my brain what I want to say, but I'm gonna be going a little back and forth here. If you want to grow and grow a platform and get bigger, it's important to look at your content objectively. It's important to look at the numbers. Just don't be consumed by them because that leads to like creative people get the worst imposter syndrome. Like I don't care who you are, it's gonna happen to you at some point where you're like, my like it's not that good. Like why people like I'm not deserving of all this and whatever. And like maybe it's just neurodivergent people, I don't know. But don't define your success in life and in your channel and like the value of your videos by the numbers. Like you're making cool stuff. Make your voice be heard and let other people hear it, but don't be controlled by their opinion of it, I guess, is the important thing to say.
No, for sure. No, and 1000%, because I know a lot of content creators who, get into that imposter syndrome mindset. And, a lot of it, but,
Yeah, right.
and a lot of it,
It's an endless battle.
but, there's a lot of things when it comes to that. Whether it's the imposter syndrome, like you mentioned, or burnout because you're doing too much, to your mental state. It's definitely, like you said, an endless battle, realistically, and it's a terrible thing, especially because I mean we've as content creators, both of us, like we've seen time and time again, whether it be ourselves or other creators that go on long hiatuses because of burnout or, lack of inspiration or depressional, stages or whatever it may be. It's very unfortunate. So I guess one of the questions, because I get this is kind of getting into that type of topic. So fair warning, people that are watching. Um, but but yeah,
Mental health talk. Let's go.
yeah. So I guess
My specialty.
right. So like as a content creator, what is something that you personally do once you hit that burnout type of state?
I feel like there's a couple things I want to say about this. One is that like you should always have something to ground you outside of your content. Like for me, it's my day job, it's my girlfriend, like things that like even if like content is too much for me, I'm getting freaked out. I know like I still have this job, I still have her, things are still going okay. Like even if my channel were to just die tomorrow, I'd be fine. Like don't let my life be controlled by the channel, I guess. And then on the other side of things too is if I am like pushing for my channel, trying to grow and whatever, and I'm burning myself out, it's okay to take breaks. Like step away, play some games, watch some shows, reconnect with who I am as a person and like as a creator too, I guess. Because like I had a pretty bad burnout period. I think earlier this year I was gone for like 2 months or something like that, and I was uploading like weekly or something up until then, or bi-weekly or whatever. And I got burned out super hard, and I was just like, you know what? No, I'm done making videos. I thought I was done for good. I just played some games. And then like after a month and a half, I hopped back on VRChat. I did some world hopping with people, and I was like, man, this is cool. I want to share this with people. And there I was, and I started making videos again. Like I just reconnected with my roots, and it was all better. But
No,
yeah, take breaks. Very important.
no, absolutely. And whether, you know, like you said, whether it's just kind of taking a break completely or just finding something else that kind of fits, what you like or whatever the case may be. I guess a good example of this, would be let's take communities for example. Like let's say you're, but busying out content left and right, bi-weekly, weekly, whatever the case may be, uploads. You know, because you're working 90% of the time. You know, in like our cases, we're doing these by ourselves. Like we're the editors, we're the content creator, whatever the case may be. Especially when it's like showcasing worlds or, podcasts, whatever the case may be, there's tons of thousands of different types of content. Point, um, you know, getting to interact with, like, let's say like communities within VRChat is definitely a refreshing thing. Whether it's, trying out, let's say, a role play community or, like an events organization or whatever. There's hundreds of thousands of communities out there. There's always a breath of fresh air on this platform, no matter what you do. There's always a small change. Or, take a whole break from VR chat entirely. Kind of like you said, play some other games.
Check out the Nintendo Switch.
Exactly.
It's collecting dust, and you know it. You know it's collecting dust. Go play it.
No.
Mine has been hardcore. I loved that thing, and just my bad.
Fair. And it happens, like dust off that old PlayStation 2 that you have sitting in the basement of your
There you
house.
go.
Sega Genesis or whatever the case may be, depending on your age group and how long you've been around. Nintendo 64, if you will. It's
Keep that Virtual Boy buried, though. Don't bring that one back out.
I don't know. That's a whole.
I liked it. I'm on record. I liked it. I thought it was fun. It didn't bother my eyes. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
No,
Tangent.
no, you're good. You're good. It's definitely an interesting thing. But kind of go down the timeline a little bit. More recently, you've been kind of getting into, like, or at least from what I noticed on your channel, you're kind of going more into like game worlds. Like you mentioned Smile Room Chapter 2. I believe the recent one was your latest obsession, which was Slashco. Shout out Manta Bro. Go check out his episode. But
So good. Gonna be playing that tomorrow.
Fair. So I guess kind of one of the things I wanted to ask, do you think it's going to get to the point to where like you're going to start making more game world related videos, or is it just kind of like on the whim, whatever like more fascinates you more than anything?
Yeah, because like I do that more with game worlds. I like if you look back at my older videos, I have like one about Haunted Asylum, Prison Escape, Among Us VR. Like I did stuff with friends and recorded it, and like that was my content for a while, and like it was fun. I enjoyed it, but nowadays it's just yeah, whatever fascinates me. If I don't get the spark to make a video, I'm not making that video. I used to push myself through the like sludge, like, I should finish this video, I should work on it. Actually, my burnout that I had, so this is relevant to that. When I had my big burnout, my big plan was to do the climbing carnival, VRChat's biggest climbing world, and I'm still planning to do that later this month, next month. Sorry, it's the end of October for us, but yeah, I'm still planning on doing it. But I was doing the climbing trials worlds, and I did a part one. The views did terrible on it. Part two was going to be Colossus by Lakuza, and like I made a couple other videos between to try to bump up the views a bit to like hype it up, and didn't happen. So I had all my video recording done for the Colossus video. I just wasn't feeling it. The video wasn't doing well, like in terms of editing. And then I burned out and I quit for 2 months. I come back. I still had that footage. Like I should really finish that. And I just did an Animal Crossing video because I was like, I've been meaning to do that for a while, and I've been playing Animal Crossing lately. Let's just do an Animal Crossing video. And that was like, literally, I made that video. I recorded it in a couple hours, edited it in a couple hours, and it was on the channel the same day. Like I was like, go, 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 go. Like that was my spark. So point being, once I get my spark, it's like that's the video I'm doing. Everything else I'm working on, goodbye. Like I'm pushing it aside. It's not important to me.
Fair
If it's not
enough.
fun, what's the point?
Exactly. So I guess kind of going into that topic a little bit, or I guess more of a futuristic question in that regard, because you've been around the platform for quite a while. So, in your personal opinion, what is one type of experience that you want to see done in VR chat? Like, or a game world,
I
or
haven't seen yet.
that you haven't seen yet?
I would like to see, and with persistence, me and one of my friends actually talked about this. Think of like a Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing style world with persistence. So every time you come back in to check your world, like, oh, time to check the crops before I hop on to join my friends. Time to, because there is also like there are some worlds that sync up with real time clocks. So they could do that where it keeps on, it like quote unquote, keeps on going while you're away. You come back, X amount of time passed, X amount of things happened, and it like loads your save and boots that stuff in. Like that would be so cool. Like you literally boot into the VR chat, do your like daily walk around of your farm, go talk to the villagers, and then go join your friends. Like
That
it just
would be
seems like
cool.
fun. I love that.
That would be cool.
I'm also a sucker for like Animal Crossing, so
Fair. I mean, what else were we gonna do during COVID times? Play VR chat? Sorry.
yeah, right. Imagine
Clearly,
couldn't be me.
those were the two things that were out during that time: VR chat or Animal Crossing on the Nintendo Switch. That was it. There was nothing else. Those were the two big things. The Switch sold out so bad so many times because of that, because of the pandemic and everything. And that was realistically one of the biggest booms of VR chat was the pandemic, because ain't nobody had anything else to do. We were stuck in our houses or apartments, whatever we were. It's goofy things, but hey, here we are, still to this day. It's
I would also like to see like full ports of experiences to VR chat. Like imagine playing a full game in VR chat. Like we have our game worlds, our story worlds, but it's like 5 hours max for the most part. Like there are some that go longer, but like imagine if it's the norm to like play through long experiences in games in VR chat. Like I'm even gonna say it, even if corporations want to come in and upload worlds, as long as it's still creator focused, like we already have like corporations making worlds and stuff. Imagine like game companies making VR chat demos of their games and stuff like that.
it's funny that
I
you
know
mentioned that.
they are.
I'll say it's funny that you mentioned that. I don't know if you have seen it or looked into it yet, but there actually is one VR game that actually made a VR chat port I think it's called Exit 8, I think.
Exit 8. Literally, I have a video of it going up tomorrow.
Oh, that's funny. So go check out that. I mean, it'll be
Yeah,
out by the time this episode's out. Go check out that video.
it's
But
out.
yeah, it should be out by now.
It's cool. More of that is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Would be
more of
cool.
that. I could agree with that. I mean, there's definitely a lot of. I think the one problem that could create is the world size, right? Because realistically, um, like a lot of them would have to be single player experiences if they're going to get into that like higher range, because
Yeah.
not only are you rendering, the world, whatever the case may be, but you're also rendering other players. And like I think the biggest world I've seen was like over like one that's like an actual experience, or a world that actually has meaning to it to some veil. I think it was like just over a gigabyte, and
Yeah,
it
I've seen some like that.
it runs not great if your PC can't handle it. So I think that's one of the things that worries me about that. Like it would be cool regardless. Like if more demos were out, yeah, I 1000% agree
Yeah.
that's doable.
So here's a thought then. Like, even just like I was going back to like the game devs making things for VRChat. Imagine Valve making like an official Portal themed world, or something like that in VRChat. Kind of like how they have the lab in VR. Like, give us like an official one in VRChat, like with all the polish and all their models and stuff. Give us like an official Sega world. Give us like not like these corporate like really low quality ones with just like a couple billboards of their games or whatever. Like, give us like an immersive experience from these companies, like from our childhood and from like I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. I want to see more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't take over VRChat.
Right. And that was going to be my other kind of tangent on that because realistically, right? Like a lot of the avatars that people make are copyrighted content, and that's a whole rabbit hole that nobody wants to go down. Let's be real here. That's a whole rabbit hole and a half.
I didn't even think about that. Like they make their world and see like, oh, you're my copyright character. What the heck? Get that out of there.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, and that's
a good point.
And if they're cool with that, right? Like cool, but if not, at least in my opinion, it can kind of lead to some weird gray area type of things. Because like let's look at Gary's mod for example.
Nintendo with Gary's mod.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, literally same brain cell.
Exactly. Like
that's a good point.
It's no different realistically. It's a weird gray area. Granted, for people like us that use like models like these, we don't have to worry about that for the most part. But I mean, let's look at like, oh, this is a weird tangent to go down, but I'm all for it. So
I'm all for tangents.
Let's go into this a little bit. So fandoms, right? I don't want to dwell too much on this because I do have other questions I want to ask, but just for a second, like you have, let's say, the Undertale fandom, the Has-Been Hotel fandom, the Nintendo fandom. You have Murder Drones, yeah, Amazing Digital Circus. Like the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I'm not editing different community or different fandoms. That's a whole ballpark. Post editor, don't worry about that. You're fine. But it's a weird gray area, at least in my opinion. And that's especially with like, us content creators. It's something that we don't think about because it's VRChat. Everything's here, but
I mean, I literally just did say I made that Animal Crossing video. Perfect example.
Right. But like realistically, it's a weird thing, And granted, most people make the models that they wear. It's definitely it's an interesting topic. That's a whole, like I said, whole rabbit hole and a half. But anyways, back to you. But It's, I guess, kind of one of the questions I did want to ask. So, you've been known as this gremlin creature for quite a long time. Sorry if that. Don't take offense to that. I mean that in the
No,
most
I am
kindest
a
way.
gremlin. I am a little gremlin. I literally describe myself in my descriptions as like a gremlin, so you're good.
Fair.
I always will be a gremlin, for record.
So I guess kind of one of the questions I wanted to ask in that regard. So what made you choose this avatar that you have in VRChat? What made you be like, yes, this is the one?
Yeah, so I will also say this is not the one for very long. I have a custom one almost done. But what led to this one is so I started as a Rusk. And I just kind of was feeling it out. I'd had a Genshin character for a little bit. Even though I don't play Genshin, which is interesting. And eventually I found this Hoppo avatar. So for those who don't know, this is based on a Hoppo, which is like a common base in VRChat. And it was all white with white hair, white eyes, and like a couple black highlights. And that's what I ran around with for a while was the white Hoppo. And that one felt just something about it. It felt like cute, mysterious, kind of chaotic gremlin vibes, and it just worked for me. And one day that avatar got deleted by the creator, just gone off the face of the planet. And I was really upset by it because it was me at that point. So me and some friends for over the course of like a month, we did like avatar shopping. They'd occasionally come into a world like, "Hey, Nova, what about this one?" And I'm like, "Eh." Like I'm just trying to find something that like clicks in my brain. Like, yeah, that one's good. And then one day while world hopping, it was like Hoppo Empire or Foundation or one of them. I found this avatar, and the color scheme is sick as hell. First of all, like black and blue, and like the glowing. I was like, this is kind of cool. And like something about like the disembodied arms, just the whole thing just felt very like gremlin energy, and I kind of rolled with it. Because I've also, I love the like old mascot characters like Rayman or Block or whatever else with like the floating limbs. I just think it's a cool concept. Or like magicians like in cartoons with like the floating gloves. I don't know. So yeah, and then I was this for like 2 years now.
Fair enough.
Wow, how time flies.
Time does fly. And speaking of time flying, we're actually running out of time. Actually, surprisingly
yikes.
enough, yeah. No, it's already almost been an hour. Believe it or not.
All right, lightning round. Then I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, one of the last questions I did want to ask, because we've talked about kind of some of the past and like how you kind of got started within VR and how content creation started. So I guess before we end it off, what is something that people can look forward from you when it comes to the future of your content?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have a new model soon, which is gonna be me. Like this is become me, but it's not me. This is a public avatar. It's a Hoppo. It's based on an anime character. It's not me. So more of me in my content, I guess, more of my character and that kind of theming extending over to my Discord, to my Twitch, like an all-encompassing branding for everything that is me. Custom emotes, all that. Just more authenticity, I guess, in that sense.
Fair enough.
Oh, also climate carnival.
Fair, valid.
I'm still doing it.
Soon, like I just post editor. I just need a soon TM just right here, just bing. Yeah, but well, that's awesome. I was like, kind of, if you can, are you gonna finally become a human?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a people.
You're gonna be a people. I was.
Yeah, she said jumped at you there.
I was. Yeah.
Lunged at you.
Just like yeah, like no, but
I'm gonna be a person.
But I guess. Well, that's cool. I'm looking forward to, and I'm pretty sure anybody, any of your people that are watching this are definitely gonna look forward to, the I guess would this be the Redux 2.0 question mark?
So, interesting thing is, it is a character I used under a previous name before, and I'm kind of bringing it back and like reclaiming it in a sense as Nova. Like this, like it's still me. It's like it's a redux, if you will.
Some would say a Tradux.
Yeah, kind of in a way. all of the ducks are gonna be here.
Throw a duck on the screen. Anyway, we'll just, but yeah, Nova. No, first of all, I do want to thank you so much for coming on. This was definitely an enlightening experience when it comes to like. It didn't feel like an hour. I'll be straight with you. It did not feel like an hour whatsoever. Granted, they won't see it, but there was a little cut because we had some tech issues. But even with that, it didn't feel like an hour, like regardless. So it was definitely a fun time to say the least. But before
absolutely.
I'll say before we go, of course, I do want to, give you a chance to kind of tell the people, where they can find you, any links that you want on screen in the description, all that type of stuff. But yeah, okay. The floor is yours.
All right, we'll post edit this so it's like lightning round, but like, bam, follow me on YouTube for VRChat World Showcases and other fun stuff. Twitch over here for all the like achievement hunting and variety gameplay. Follow me on Blue Sky for random ramblings. Here's my Discord. Here's my PayPal. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, come join the chaos. Come join the fun.
Sorry, post editor. You're gonna have to deal with that. I'm sorry.
All the explosions, boom, 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 boom.
Okay, no, okay, we don't have that in the budget, but we'll give you one. We'll give you one explosion. That's it, and it won't even be.
I'll edit that part. No, I'm kidding.
There won't even be audio. It'll only be on the YouTube, Spotify side. It'll only be visual. You just get one explosion.
Yeah, just a silent little. It would be funny if it was right there when I just did the thing. That would actually be very funny.
Post editor, I'm sorry, dog. Good luck.
Just the one. Just that one. Just that one. All the bam bam bam. Don't do explosions, but right there.
Good luck, post editor Noved. You're gonna have fun with this one. But
sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, all the links will be down in the description. But technically, you did forget one.
YouTube, Twitch, Blue Sky, Discord.
What about a certain thing of yours on VRChat?
My group.
There you go.
Bam. Okay.
I mean, do you want to tell them what that is?
Join the Ikebukuro group. We're an 18+ community, all wholesome chaos, no lewd, no crude, game nights, community nights, just good vibes.
Cool.
You can't see it, but I looked over at you and gave a cheesy grin.
Post editor, good luck. Anyway, but yeah, no, thank you, Nova, for coming on. This is a blast. Hopefully you enjoyed as well. But with that, ladies, gentlemen, everybody inside and outside the ballpark, that has been it for episode 38. There it is, episode 38 of the Noved Notes podcast. I do want to thank you all so much for watching. And of course, if you liked some of the things that you saw, feel free to hit that like button. Comment down below, what's your favorite NovaRedux video? What's your favorite video?
Oh.
Nova will be down in the comments.
And subscribe.
Probably.
It's free.
True. Go subscribe to his YouTube. Of course, if you are coming back to watch,
you.
That's fine because I was going to do my bit anyway. But of course, if you are coming back to watch some of the other episodes, why not hit that subscribe button? You're already coming back anyway. But with that, I do want to thank you all so much for watching, listening, depending on what platform you're on. But yeah, I will see you in the next episode. Take care and peace. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Noved.